what we're seeing is, because of the era that we live in, everything pretty much has a technological angle. And so historically, people have wanted to adopt the label of InsurTech, partly because it's in vogue. I think partly because people think it does give them some kind of definition, although I would actually argue that it probably has the opposite effect. But also, for a very long time, until fairly recently, InsurTech was fairly synonymous with a lot of capital being invested, and you've seen better than anybody the impact that, you know, dropping the tech word can have at the end of your company name. And so there was a huge motivation for people to identify with that label. I think one of the great things at the moment, Bryan, is because there is a sort of paring back of investment, that companies, founders in particular, are less distracted with capital raising, and they're more focused on what, you know, they probably originally set their businesses up to do in the first place. But I'm hoping that some kind of semantic and taxonomic discipline is going to come back into the space where people are clearer about what their businesses are, because the term, and I think it's already guilty of this, the term is somewhat redundant, right? In as much as it doesn't tell you anything anymore, because if everything has a technological play in our industry, what's the value of the term? And because certain key stakeholders in the industry have not necessarily had a great experience with companies identifying with the label of InsurTech, you actually potentially run the risk of doing more damage. You know, do you go to an underwriter of an existing reinsurer who's backed a couple of deals that haven't gone well and have the door sort of slammed in your face because of a relationship with a, you know, a phenomena that is actually not particularly appropriate? I think with the exodus of some of the non-industry investors that we're seeing, that's also likely to happen, because it's a term that means less to insurance industry investors, and is less important. So it's a really fascinating inflection point, but I am very pro this idea of people being better at defining what it is that they're actually doing and not falling into the trap of just associating themselves with a very confused term. Hi, this is Johnston, Global Head of InsurTech at Gallagher, and this is the future of insurance.